outside, so I'm sweaty. I was gathering some corn leaves and husk for some crafts I'm gonna do. I used to have a tobacco leaf doll that hung on my front porch, and I'd had her for gosh years. She finally gave it up, so I'm gonna have to make me something new. And so I thought, well, I'm gonna mimic that with corn husks. Be kind of like a corn husk doll, but not an actual corn husk doll. But if you all want to see a corn husk doll, let me know, and I will make a corn husk doll. Um, I'm drawing the stuff that I picked today for the little welcome doll on my front porch. And it'll take a few days for me to finish that, but I can go to the supermarket and get dried corn husks and just re-soak them, rehydrate them after they've, because you're gonna need it to dry and then you rehydrate to bend. So I can go to the store and get corn husks and rehydrate those to make a corn husk doll if you all would like to see one made. Haven't made one since I was little, and I went to powwow with Mom and they let us all make a doll. And I've made a few after that in the years, but I haven't made one recently. I've been making these jars all week. This is Frankenstein. Now he's the most simple, but he's a lot. He's the most simple. He's just got a scar on his forehead and eyebrows and a mouth and scars where he's sewn. I've made some really extensive gnome lamps. Well, I can't reach any of them right now, but I'm also working on these, but I didn't like the way the paint did on these. It made them kind of streaky in some spots. So I'm going to go back over and do another, because I've got a bunch of 3. I always do ghost of 3. Here's the 3rd one. So you have a happy, a surprised, and a sad. I don't know why I do that, but I always do a 3. And so I'm going to do another layer of white delicately around their faces. And I used a different paint, and don't use I always use Waverly chalk paint or a chalk paint type. Don't use a different paint. If you're used to using chalk paint, spray paint your wine bottles and then use your chalk paint over your spray paint, and it works. If you don't do a base coat of spray paint, you're gonna be sitting there all day trying to paint these things and you're never gonna get a pretty finish. And the little makeup sponges on a stick that look like a little mushroom, or even the beauty blenders, they do chalk paint on wine bottles beautifully. Tip for me. I'm thinking about doing some Christmas because this woman gave me so many. Y'all have heard the story. I got so many. So I'm thinking about making some Christmas themed ones and some Thanksgiving themed ones, and because I've got so many. So I'm gonna do some horse themed ones for the trail riding facility down the hill. So I went outside and had my hair in a hat and it just feels stuck to my head now. I'm gonna make a lot. Hi Katrina, we got Mimi, Pearl, and Katrina in here. I think Gypsy's at church. I went up, y'all, for the first time in 6 or 7 years. Now I'm gonna take my week 8 Mounjaro shot this morning after I get off this live. Hey Kimbo. Yeah, she even got like a third of them, and there's still probably 3 or 4 dozen of there at least. At least. And the woman has already offered me more. So I'm like, as soon as I clean those out of the barn, I've got them in the tack room, then I'll come back for more. So me and Kim have plans for these bottles. We each even started a bottle tree. Hey, honey, I've been having internet and phone issues ever since Straight Talk and Verizon merged. Oh, and I'm going to give you all a tip. If you Temu, Facebook created a new rule. I was in the corn patch. I feel like I've got bugs on me. Facebook created a new rule on September 6th, and they're enforcing it like crazy. They're saying that Temu links, even if they're shared within Temu groups that are created only to share Temu links, they're saying those are spam. Because, and the funny thing is I got notified that for 3 days I can't send messages on Messenger, because they say I've spammed. But the groups and the group chats were created purely for Temu links, and they're kind of picking who they get and who they don't. And but the funny thing is when I got the notification that I had a 3-day suspension because they deemed my Temu links that I'm putting in the Temu group chats, which are made for links, they deemed it spam. There was a Temu ad on the Facebook page where they were telling me I was in trouble for sharing Temu links. So I call him Efferberg, can just go fly a kite for all I care. I have moved, so if you do that, don't do it anymore because Facebook is losing advertising money to Temu because people are sharing it so much. Because Temu, I know that I try to buy American when I can, but the craft stuff at Walmart and the local stores in my area are horrendous, and I can get the same product, same tags, made in the same place, normally has the same label for a quarter or a fifth of the price on Temu. And that's where I get most of my craft stuff, unless it's like my Waverly paint and stuff that I'm a diehard fan of. And it's like they're punishing me. And I'm like, y'all sold out to China, why can't I? Seriously, that's what I'm wondering. I'm like, why can't I? I'm like, see? And so Facebook has been a butthole. So Discord is a great place. You can still share and get your sharing points. And the people on Discord want the links. They want to make friends, and they want to have people that will go back and forth and help them. Discord is where you find the Temu. And if I could send a message, I would send y'all a message, but I can't send messages. But go to Discord and find. I downloaded Discord just purely for Temu. Because Facebook, and I said Facebook everything. I said, I disagree with this. I said, I'm posting in groups and group chats directly meant for this. This is what they wanted. I'm not harassing anyone. Everyone else is doing the same thing. That's what they're created for. And I said, also, I live in a very rural place where we don't always have cell signals, and my husband does not have cell signal at work, and we've come to rely on Facebook Messenger in case my health plummets. That's how I let him know how I'm doing health-wise. And I said, you're impeding my ability to get medical aid if I need medical aid, and to alert my husband to a medical emergency. I said, so I would like this rectified, and I would like my messenger back, and y'all can go suck a big one. That's basically what I told them. Because here's the thing. If they can sit in the White House and do what they're doing with China, why can't I sit at my kitchen table and share a link? Just a question. Just an honest, open-hearted question. I don't get it. But it's because Efferberg is losing his advertising. They're not going to have to pay for advertising much longer because everybody's figured out that Temu actually is a legit business. Now, people's like, well, they're getting your information. I always pay through a third-party protected source. So go through PayPal or some other neutral platform where you can monitor, and it creates a boundary, a buffer. Do the safety stuff that you would do shopping anywhere online. Duh. But as far as them saying, oh, they're just trying to get your information, honey, they already got all the information they want on us, and it doesn't come from us. It comes from the people that are in political places that just give it to them. And for example, Swalwell. So I don't, they're not getting anything from me that they don't. Well, I've never done Discord either, but I will do Discord for the Temu boards, but I ain't doing anything else on Discord because I know Discord is mostly a lot of places where people create argumentative chats. So I'm not going to become a fan of Discord, but I will Discord for Temu, and that'll be it. But so far it's been a great, drama. I don't like drama. So far the Temu boards are just people going, hey, I'm here. Can anybody help me? And normally if you help them, they return the favor, and they'll message you, say thanks a bunch. So far it's been very amicable and very sweet. Now the moment it turns nasty, I'm gone. But I just thought that was funny that while they were banning me for sharing Temu links in groups that were created to share Temu links, when I changed the page, there was a Temu ad on the Facebook page. And I thought, boy, y'all are brazen. That's what I thought. Boy, y'all are brazen and bold. That just kind of ticked me off, and 10 Ways to Sunday. I thought, seriously? So if you don't think you're being controlled, just, spend a little bit of time on Facebook or Instagram. Yeah, wake up call. So I really don't like Facebook, and if it weren't for the video call on my daughter, which I can't talk to my pregnant daughter unless I text her now, and I can't video call because we have Androids, we don't FaceTime. So that kind of pissed me off too, I'm not gonna lie. But I sent them basically what written out looked like a warrant to all of their violations against me. So they could bite a big one as far as I'm concerned. I'm like, listen, y'all forget y'all are a business. When you do this stuff to people don't want to come back. And I am so close to dropping Facebook completely. Like, I really wanted to after she got married, and now she's pregnant. And I'm like, dadgummit, because I hate Facebook. I hate it. I hate Facebook. Everybody sucking in their cheeks, taking pictures. I went on vacation and they're standing in front of somebody else's green board saying they've been to Hawaii. It's just stupidity. People are stupid. That's why y'all get the real raw me. I did go on a garden ramble this morning, did a yard ramble, did a Monjaro update. I will be loading it later. And like I said, the trolls are not going to deter me from doing my Monjaro updates because it could help somebody that's in a really a life or death situation. You know, making a choice, you know, should I talk to my doctor about this medicine or not? And if they see somebody that's actually going through this and offering their opinion, it might help them talk to their doctor about more beneficial, helpful things, you know, and discuss options and is this an option for me? And so it's more important for me to share it than to be scared of, I'm not scared of the trolls, they amuse me, but, you know, to let these trolls try to scare me off. And what I'm thinking, you know, is if I become a big target for the trolls, maybe they'll bother me and leave everybody else alone. So I did my update. I put on breeches that I wore last year that was too tight. I had to put the side belts on both sides, and the suckers were still too big. But I mean, they hung with me to do my garden ramble. So I'm losing weight. I've gone down almost 3 sizes in undergarments. It's amazing. And I went in my first solo trip ever this week. Kim was very proud of me, although she was checking up on me like a mom hen. She was very proud of me. I went, and it was just like an hour 15 away, but I went and spent the night with Gypsy. Now, I know Gypsy really well from here. She's just right up across state line for me. And so I went up and spent the night with Gypsy, and we've spent time with each other, and she stayed here several times as well. We know each other really well. So I went and stayed the night, went up there, got there, visited for like 2 hours. We went to church. It was Wednesday night, went to church, come back and did a fire and dinner with her family across the road, and went down and looked at the lake at sunset. Oh my God, it was beautiful. And the next morning we hit a couple of thrift shops, and then her daughter is having kidney stone issues, and she said that on here, so I'm not saying anything I shouldn't. So we had to go grab her, and it was so much fun. Hey, Denise, how are you doing? Denise, since Straight Talk and Verizon merged, my phone is FUBAR. I can't do hardly anything with my phone. I can't send messages half the time. Circuits are busy, or it just won't go through. And I'm trying to yell at Straight Talk as much as they can understand me and I can understand them, because, you know, my accent and theirs, that's a problem right there put together. But I'm having, and a lot of people in my area are having a lot of problems with their phones. And it's a pain in the butt, and it's about to tick me off. So I've been having to do a lot of like customer service, what the crap's going on calls this week. I'm not lying, it's been one of them weeks. But I did do my first solo trip, and yeah, I just hour 15 up because I drive slow, and stayed the night. And then she showed me, I didn't think cypress trees grew in our area. There were 2 huge cypress trees in the huge cemetery where her ex-husband's buried. And she showed that it was huge. I put that in the video. She showed me some of the history, because she's an awesome artist, an awesome painter, and she's done a lot of wonderful things for her community. And she showed me her book of memories, where she had articles written about her and the classes she taught and all the awards she got. And oh my God, it was just so nice to get to know her on that level and visit her home. And I want to go back and stay a few days, but because David had so much going on this weekend, I had to get back and help him. And we had the Bandy Creek storytelling thing yesterday, which was okay till about 2 o'clock, and then it started pouring the rain, and we said, we're going home. I think it stopped raining at about 4:30, but by then I was like, everybody's listening to the stories be read and not shopping anymore. So we just went home and stayed home. But we did good for the few hours we were there. It was fun, met a lot of wonderful people, made a lot of new friends. The park rangers were like, we've looked, and now every time we've been down here, there's been just the most huge crowd around your booth. And everybody's like, those are the friendliest people. And we learned so much from them, and I was like, well, good. We want positive things to come from this. And oh my goodness, the children that were out, because it was a storytelling event, the children that were out with their parents yesterday that were just amazed with David's work. And I'm here to tell you, my husband has a soft heart, And as soon as those kids were like interested in stuff, he was making some huge concessions on price yesterday because he wanted those kids that were super interested to have what they wanted. And then I had like an Eagle Scout. It's the equivalency of an Eagle Scout for a girl. And she does a lot of leadership programs and stuff. She fell in love with that messenger beaver purse that I made, and she's from a tribe too. She's not as active as I was at her age, but she was such a smart young woman. She fell in love with my beaver purse. I gave her a discount on that letter. I mean, I basically sold it for the fur, and she got my work for free. But I mean, she was in love with it and knew what it meant for that to be made. And I was like, take it, honey. I was like, I literally do like 2 of these a year. You're welcome to it. And her mother come back to thank me. My jewelry, I think I might have 3 pieces of jewelry left after yesterday. And yes, when the little girls wanted one of my little rings, they went super, super cheap. Because listen, y'all, kids, when they come to our booth and they're excited about this, we want them to remember that and to stay excited and to keep learning. And so we want them to have, that was a good memory and a good talk, and they're excited about people that treated them good. So we had a really great time. Mimi's back. Denise, I'm so glad you're doing a little bit better, honey. I'm so worried. I've got another friend that's in the hospital right now. She's the lady that helps me with the bag. She's in the hospital now. She's been having some massive back issues that's going to require surgery. So if y'all could toss up some good injury to my friend, I'm worried about her, and now Facebook is banning me from messages, and I can't check on her. That's the only way we have to talk. And I'm irritated. Well, I'm just so freaking irritated at Facebook. You have no idea. So if anybody needs to get hold of me and it's really important, you're going to have to send it through the Hillbilly Furs page, because the list of words I have from Mark Zuckerberg today are not Sunday words. I can't say them all. Oh, he made me mad. But it was a great week. So, I'm tired. Like, when I came home, I was tired, and I had to rest Friday. And I was like, man, have I overdone it? But my body recouped, and I was like, no, I'm doing good. And my nurse was ecstatic. She came and saw me after all that because she wanted to know how I was doing after all that. So she scheduled her visit after. She's like, this is a big thing for me. She's like, this is, we're seeing how much you have improved. And she's like, this is like a big test for us. And because I would like to eventually, not have them come to my home and poke and prod me every goddamn day. But they're watching my pancreas super close right now with this medicine I'm on. So I understand that. But I was so proud of myself. And yes, it was just an overnight, hour and 15 minutes. But you ask him, I've not gone anywhere by myself. And we used to take off and go to Georgia and Detroit and Ohio. I've not gone anywhere in several years alone. And I used to do, basically travel the whole state for the Department of Corrections to prosecute parole warrants and stuff. And so this was a big deal for me to go somewhere. I was proud of myself, but I will tell you, I was more terrified to leave alone for the first time than I was about anything over the last several years. And for me, I'm not scared of anything. And for me to sit in that Jeep and feel that little, oh God, Elizabeth, this is the first time you've done anything on your own in a while. You're solo. Now, I did have on my oh my God button, and they do track me when I'm, and I told them I was traveling and they track me. So, I wasn't, I had a backup, but that was a big deal for me. Such a big deal. Well, see, maybe it was meant. It was just fate. You were just meant to see my live today. You make me, because of your name, you make me want to get on here and put on a big straw hat and go, howdy. And my mom and dad even came down yesterday to see us, but basically as soon as they got there, it started raining. But me and Mama did walk about 1/8 of a mile together. We were seeing who could outwalk each other. My mother could outwalk me any day of the week. And she was packing her chihuahua while she was doing it, y'all. My mother is the grittiest woman I know. You tell her she can't do it, and now I see where I get it now. I used to think that I got my stubbornness from my dad because, well, y'all met my dad on videos. Y'all know my dad. No, I think I get some of it from my mama now too, because, and I was like, Oliver, let me pack you, and he was like, rah, 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 rah. And I was like, oh, you hateful little chihuahua. He wanted his mommy to pack him, and so mom was packing him. She still has to use a cane, but it's not like it used to be. She's walking so much better, and her color's so much better, and she's just kind of getting back to life. And I'm trying to get back to life, and I want us to go thrifting together really soon to a place that's about 20 minutes away. I'm trying to kind of schedule a mom-daughter trip. So life is kind of returning now. I still, I can't go all day. I still have to have like little resting periods and nap periods and time to put my feet up, but I don't have the edema issues anymore, and things are going good. But I've got all that in my Monjaro video, so I'll hush about that. But that'll upload later today. But I'm just proud of myself. Hey, Sandy. Hey, Savannah. Oh, the names in Georgia. We decided that naughty people named all the roads in Georgia because they all sounded like they were some kind of really horrible bar or a very bad meeting place. There was some weird names in Georgia. Weird road names, weird area names, and we was just like, who named this place? I mean, were they all like not so nice people? Because the names were not, they were some weird, just outlandishly raunchy names. I'm sorry. I mean, I have a gallows sense of humor, but now anybody would have read those names and went, really? You want to live here? Yeah, with their minds, it got really bad. I liked when we went to Ohio, or when we went to Ohio and we passed the Big Butter Jesus, and we were traveling with Colleen, who's moved back to Ohio since then, but she's like part of my family basically. And we were on, they had the God and Satan Twitter feeds there for a while, which were hilarious because God and Satan would argue back and forth. Whoever did that was hilarious and a mastermind. And we were reading some of it, and she was kind of like, oh my God, that's bad. We were laughing because me and Kim have horrible sense of humor anyway. And then we passed the Big Butter Jesus, which is like a giant statue of Jesus. I don't know why they call him Big Butter Jesus. I don't know. But it's Big Butter Jesus. And I looked at Colleen and I said, look, I found Jesus. And she just kind of rolled her eyes. And but we had a fun trip that year. That was a good year. That was like the last year I had my two bonus kids, Jonah and Jordan, and their mama went with me to the Queen Convention. And I will always remember that because those boys, I love them dearly. They're both super talented. They both sing, and I think they're both in the music world now. Jordan professionally and Jonah stepping into it professionally. And I wanted them to meet Peter Freestone and get to see him and talk to him and stuff. Oh, and I asked Phoebe, which is Peter, I asked him how the Sotheby's thing for Freddie's items went, and I know he's responded, but I can't access my messenger to talk to him. So Kim, if you got him on Messenger, will you let him know they banned me for a couple of days and that I will respond as soon as they unban me, because that kicked me off so much. I've said plenty of things they probably could have banned me for, but they made me over a Temu link and a Temu page on the Temu group, and I was like, seriously? And then they did it, and when I rolled up the screen, there was a Temu ad from Facebook, and they were mad at me for posting a Temu link, and I thought, this is wrong on so many levels. This is like a vegan getting on to me for eating beef while they're munching on bacon. It didn't make any sense to me. So Facebook is not Temu friendly anymore. So if you want to share your Temu links, if you're like me, and I did such a huge craft order that it got me really ahead of the games, and I've won several things now. And I got my peacock in, Kim, and my rug, and my duvet blanket cover. And so if you like to do those and you have a lot of points from an order and you've gotten yourself pretty far on a game and you want to finish it, Discord for Temu all the way. Now, don't go into the other Discords and get into all that nasty drama that people start on Discord, because Discord is just it's not normally a positive place. But I will say that the people in the Temu Discord seem to just share the Temu links and go on. They're not there for trouble. They just like, help me out. I got to here and I need 3 more clicks. So, and they all seem to be super sweet so far. But I just thought that was funny, chastising me for putting a Temu link on your website while there's a Temu ad staring at me. I'd really like to meet Mark Zuckerberg in person. I really, 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 really would. I really would. Okay. You going to Cracker Barrel? You going to the crack house? You going to Cracker Barrel? We're horrible. We have just... If you didn't know us, you would think we were just... You ought to see us when we're together. It gets bad. What's the new game? Because I've just been doing Fishland and the Farmland. Now, I do the hat trick sometimes because I've won on it. We do make life interesting. Seriously. We thought about being Thing 1 and Thing 2 for Halloween New Year. Then we thought about being Wayne and Garth one year because of her blonde hair, and I look like, I'm sorry, but I do look like the guy from Wayne's World. But I was too sick to do any of that holidays then, and my health was up and down. We ought to do that this year. Don't forget next weekend, Kim, is Girls Weekend on the Square. I'm not gonna like blow down your excursion. We're gonna take a lot load up there and do the bicentennial event on the Square. The Lord Sav sent that to me. I don't know what the new game is yet because I'm old school and I don't always pay attention to things. But I mean, I've had a lot of luck and I've won a lot of stuff. And I got an order in one day. Where is it? Doggone it. Okay, here it is. I got an order in one day, and I've been doing lights on my little bottle things. And my little gnome lamps, I've been putting lights in them, but I thought it'd be cuter if they had a little top knot. You know, like me, a top knot. I'm crazy. And so I found these. They go down in the bottle also, but they have a top knot. They have a top light. I've not pulled the thing out of this one yet, but this lights up and flickers, and then this flickers in the thing, so it's both. And I thought that would be so cute in those little gnome lamps instead of just, just them inside lighting up. I bought one. They somehow sent me 7, and so I go to the chat and I'm like, I just bought one of these, and y'all sent 7. I need to send these back, and they were like, oh no, that was our mistake. You keep them. They were like $1.28 because these are expensive. Like if you buy these at Hobby Lobby, they're like $8. Yeah, make some stuff. So yeah, make it a good day for you. Yeah, because Gypsy's gonna be there too, and we're gonna have a little girls booth. But these are like $7 or $8, and they might be a little nicer. But I mean, this one's even got the little cut plastic, and it looks like a little. You see the shape on it? They might, but they're like $6 to $8 at Hobby Lobby. And it's like $1.28 on Temu, and I was like, you sent me 7 instead of 1? And they were like, our mistake, keep them. Well, then I won those 2 branches that you can put on the walls to light up because I really want to put those in my guest room and one in the bathroom. They sent them to me because I won them. Well, then the next shipment, they sent them to me again. So I got on there and said, I've already received my free gifts, but you sent them to me again. And I was like, I guess whoever packed didn't see the other person had packed them. I said, so what do you want me to do? And they were like, our mistake, enjoy them. And I was like, so just out of their mistakes, I've gotten like, oh my gosh, 7, 10, about $30 worth of free stuff in the last 6 weeks. And I was like, okay, thank you. And then the little 4-tiered cart I got in the bathroom, they didn't send me the right one. And they found out what happened. They pulled it from the wrong department in the warehouse. And it was smaller. It was narrower. It was supposed to be about 1 inch wider, which I needed that extra inch because I had measured some of my containers and stuff that I put in my bath water and stuff, my salts and stuff like that, the Epsom salt and lavender and stuff like that. And it wouldn't really fit good. And I said, I think Kins might have sent me the wrong one. And I said, plus this one has paw prints in the bottom instead of just circles. And I was like, I'm not mad at the paw prints. I was like, you're not gonna be able to see them when I put anything in the shelves. But I just wanted to let you know, you might have made a mistake on the listing. You might want to check it. And they were like, oh, and they figured out what it was. You'll behave. Oh, I'm gonna have a good time and laugh it up. So you do what you behave however you want to. Gypsy's is bringing some stuff too. It's gonna be a fun day. But I was like, you might want to correct the listing. They found out they pulled it from the wrong department. The same aisle, same bucket, but it was from the pet supplies instead of the household supplies. They just went, they're probably a new worker. And they were like, oh, we are so sorry. And they refunded me that. And I said, oh, well, do I need to send it back? And they were like, no, just find a way to use it and keep it. Don't worry about sending it back. And I was like, okay. And then they said, actually, they're like, that was a pretty big mistake. And they're like, we really appreciate, that you have contacted us over our mistakes lately. We've corrected a lot. They sent me $20 in Temu cash as a thank you. So being nice does pay, it does pay off. For being open season. That's what it is. It's going to be open season. There's going to be a lot going on. I don't know how many vendors, but they begged David to have his stuff there. And I thought, well, okay, he can't be two places at once. Since that's so close to home, I'll do it. And so Gypsy's got a lot of like historical prints and stuff, and she's made some really like good crafty but like down home country old school stuff. It's gonna be, we're gonna have a cute booth. And I'm gonna keep the big table, and she's gonna bring her little table and a few racks. But we'll just all share and prop up and make it work. I don't know if I'm gonna have the tent or the umbrella, so we'll just make it work. But they are putting me by the chamber so that we can go in and cool down if it's hot. Because I was like, I'll come up there for my husband, but I can't. If it's burning hot, I can't sit on pavement all day. So they're putting us. I think they're gonna actually put us on the grass by the chamber. But if not, they're gonna put us really close so we can go in and cool down when we need to. They were being really nice about it. So I hated to say no when they were being so nice about it. So, and then the weekend after that, I think we've got a Scott County homecoming, like a heritage festival. And David's basically going to be doing like demonstrations there too. So this is like his few little things that he gets to do at this time of year. He does nothing like the rest of the year, and then it's like boom, boom, boom. And it's fun, but man, sometimes it wears me out and I can't always do it. Okay, let me know what all you want in it, and I'll help fill it. Hey, Ashley. Oscar, don't drink your water and choke while I'm on live, please. My poor dog. But, well, I've got these repainted. I'm going to have to go back and outline their eyeballs again because I got close and I kind of got on them in a little couple places. But now the color is much better. I'm going to have to go outline their eyes again. But now the color is much better. I didn't like that other color that was on it. I didn't like it at all. Now it's much better. And I may just go over the eyeballs. And then, okay. That'd be fine. I don't think we'll need a whole lot I know that they're going to have food vendors there, but if you're like me and the water I drink now, it's better to have your own cooler. I drink a lot of water now. Lots of water. But I know you're a Dr. Pepper girl, and I don't care to buy you some Dr. Pepper and stuff, and because you're helping me out big time. Because David can't be in two places at once, and there's no way, even though I'm doing so much better, there's no way I can physically do that whole day and the setup by myself. There's no way. I mean, I'm doing so much better, but I know my limitations, and there's no way I could do all that on my own. Kim is my rescue. She's my own personal rescue squad. So you've not heard from me because of Efferberg blocking me on Messenger. I'm so mad at that man. I wish I could have a 5-minute conversation with these rich, horrible people. And just be like, do you know how much of a turd you are? Let me tell you. Oh, how I despise thee. Let me count the ways. I would have so much fun with that. I know that sounds horrible, but my goodness, chastising me, and there's a Temu link on Young At Them page where you're chastising me for sharing a Temu link. But I was sharing them in groups where people wanted them. So people that like Temu do Discord. Lord have mercy. Don't let Zuckerberg have another power play over you. Just leave him and go to Discord, but don't get into the other Discords because my God, they're horrible. Just go to Temu. Don't search for anything else. Just Temu. Because Discord is like a parent-teacher conference where everybody's cracked out. They don't care what they say, and they think they're all right, and everybody's got their own personal baby they're there to represent, and you just can't make peace with anyone on Discord that's about anything else. But if you're just sharing links for people, they've been really sweet. If you're just sharing links for people to click and for you to help other people, it's not bad at all. It's actually been a pretty sweet experience. I met a little girl named Katie on there, and we've been helping each other out. She's been a sweetheart. So, and it's just other people that, there's one guy that was like, Facebook completely took my whole account down, and he was like, all I was doing was trying to get cheap Christmas presents for my kids. And I was like, well, Zuckerberg does not have to think about these things. All right, y'all be careful going to the Cracker Barrel, aka the Crack House. Be careful. Have a good time. If you see either of the Munchkins, tell them howdy. But I did my first solo trip. It was just an hour there and overnight and an hour back, but I was going pretty steady both days. And I was tired when I got back and had to rest, but it didn't put me in a flare. I've only had one mini flare since I've started this Mounjaro. It lasted for about 3 or 4 days. Wasn't super bad. My nurse was monitoring me the whole time. I swelled a little bit, but I didn't have any of the horrible colors that normally come along with the flares. And I didn't have, the days down. I could still get up and function. It was not pleasant. Now, I have had where I've lost weight and I'm laying differently in the bed and I've got different pressure points. My sciatica has been a pain in the butt, literally. But that's just going to happen as my body shifts and changes. So I've just decided I'm going to be uncomfortable until I lose enough weight to where my body's going to be able to kind of get used to being there for a while. So I've just decided this is just part of the journey. It's just going to hurt a little bit for a little while. And I'm just going to have to take it all in stride and keep going. But today I did put on a pair of jeans that I could not put on last year that pinched me when I put them on last year. And I had to put the 2 little belt things on each side to pull the belt loops together. And the suckers were still too big on me. But I got to put on, because it's baby copperhead and Wasper and yellow jacket season here. So you put on breeches and boots when you go outside here now. I put on my breeches and boots first time in since winter. And it was so nice to not feel like somebody in a costume, but actually just somebody wearing their cowboy boots and breeches. But my breeches was dragging my tracks out because they was just way too big. And that made me so happy. So I'm just buying leggings and tunics and going to wear my fall leggings, my fall boots and stuff like that through the winter until I lose enough weight to where I can justify paying money for jeans, because no. And I'm not buying a belt until I can pay the leather guy at the leather shop, the Medipon, the Amish dude, Mr. Bauman. I'm not buying a belt until I can pay Mr. Bauman to tool me a belt with my name on the back of it, because my whole life until I had my surgeries and had to sell my horses, I've always had a belt that had my name on the back of it. And it was a joke because my dad used to say I was the epitome of that song, Redneck Girl. And one of the lines is, Redneck Girl got the name on the back of her belt. And so my whole life I've always had a leather belt with my name tooled on the back of the belt. And I thought, okay, I'll buy breeches when I'm small enough that I can justify buying a belt and having my name put on the back of it again. That's when I know I'm where I kind of want to be. That's when I'll be a little bit satisfied when I get there. Now, I've never been a small girl, and I don't want to be a small girl, because I've got shoulders like a man. I look like a golf tee if I ever was skinny, because I've got such broad shoulders and top heavy muscles. Now, I am losing a little bit of muscle with this, but because my muscles, I have too much, and because my left side is kind of atrophied and my right side is a lot bigger, it's kind of balancing me out. So I'm losing a little bit more on the right side than the left. So it's kind of balancing me out. And it looks like my right arm was like 5 or 6 inches bigger around than my left last year because of the atrophy. And it's kind of balanced now a little bit, but I'm not going to complain because when I get into flares, it's the muscles that hurt me. So I don't mind losing a little bit of muscle. I'm okay with that. I'm cool with that. If I want it back, I'll build it back. But I'm really cool with it. So I'm just like, I just need to lose like half of my butt. My daughter, who's pregnant with twins, if y'all didn't know, is doing much better. She seems to be through the super nauseous stage. And it's been so hard on her with her work schedule and stuff, but she's doing much better. And I want to be able to visit and travel, and if she has an emergency, be able to get to her and to rely on me instead of somebody else. Even if I have to just go get a Greyhound, to be able to go on my own, if an emergency arises, it's a big deal. So that's my goal, and that's what my doctors and physical therapists, that was our new goal that we made for the next several months, is to get me to where if she has an emergency, Grandma is mobile. Mimi's mobile. So that's the big thing. So that's what we've been focused on lately. Yeah, I'm losing a lot. It's coming off in the weirdest spots. I was like, Jesus, can we talk about location? Like, if we were to plot me out, can we can we take it from here first? But I lost through here first, and on my legs, all the water and the fluid, and anywhere that I was having like really bad swelling, that's where I lost first. And now I'm losing in the middle. Finally, my belly is going backwards. Finally. And I made a Monjaro video update that I'll upload after this, so you'll be able to tell that my britches are still like they were tight on me last year, and I've got 2 side belts pinched all the way up. Those little side belts you pull between the belt loops. And them suckers are still hanging. I pull them out to here. They're still hanging off of me, and I'm like, it's working. The 2.5, I thought I was losing weight on the 2.5. Now that we switched me to 5, I'm like, wow. Whoa, it's just a going. But now I'm also, every time I lose more weight, we're elevating my physical therapy, more steps, longer times up, less resting spells, and more stretching. A lot more stretching as I'm losing the weight, because I've got to get my tendons and ligaments working again, because they have not worked appropriately in so many years. But I'm trying to do, I know that this medicine's a great tool, but I'm really trying to jump in there and do the work. And if I'm able, I used to love to weight lift and work out, and I know I won't ever lift weights again unless I need to just kind of balance out, tone up my upper body or something. But it's nice to be able to feel like I'm doing something that's working finally. I did get 35, 40 pounds off on my own diet wise, but I couldn't get the fluid off of me from the RSD and the edema to where I could get my energy levels up. It was just, when you got fluid on you, it just hurts everything, your heart and everything. And getting the fluid off was the biggest thing. So I still have to have timeouts to rest. And if I do something, I still do it in spurts, but the spurts are getting longer and the rests are getting smaller. And so learning my new limitations, and I'm very happy. Oh, it's like buying one of those shirts that says, "This is the last one," seriously. Oh, you're wonderful for being a foster mom, because there are so many people that are fostering that shouldn't foster. So when I meet nice people that are foster parents, I'm like, thank you, Jesus, for showing me a nice person that's a foster parent. Well, I became a grandma last year at 44, and now we've got twins due, and I'm 45. And I'm glad that both my kids will have children close in age, because they grew up close with their cousins, be close in age and really close with them, so that makes me happy. But she lives a long ways away, and she's very happy there, and got a great home, a great life, a wonderful husband, a great in-laws. I mean, I love his family. They're wonderful people. And I just, it's very difficult for me to visit. It was near impossible. But, you know, David and I have both kind of been like, we can't expect them to travel with twins as much. We know every once in a while they'll want to visit back home. But I looked at David and I said, we're going to have to visit. And I said, you're just going to have to take some vacation days and we're just going to have to go and visit. And of course, my husband is like, how can I make this fun for me? So he's going to do some hunting in Georgia. So he's going to buy his Georgia out-of-state license and all the permits and crap he needs. And so in order to make it more fun for him, when I get to go and we get to do like a 3 to 4 day visit, I'm going to get grandkid time. He's going to get grandkid time, but he's going to be getting up at the butt crack of dawn to go hunting with the son-in-law, which they've got such a bromance going on. I'm here to tell you. I'm here to, if something ever happened to my daughter and her husband, my David would still be like, I'm still claiming him. He's still mine. I mean, they love each other, so it's funny. Yeah, when I did counseling, I had to do some reports on foster parents that were, and I thought these kids had been through enough, and then to see them go through even more when they were supposed to be in what the state deemed a safe place, and I was like, we're not doing these kids justice. I had to do some reports. It was sad, yeah. So it's nice to find good foster people. Every time I found a good foster parent, I would celebrate them and be super nice to them, and because I know it's not easy, because you don't know what problems you're going to be unpacking with that child. You don't know how it's going to affect your home and the other kids in it and the dynamic and emotionally, you know, and I mean, mentally, it's just a big roller coaster ride. So it's a huge thing to foster. David and I actually wanted to foster when the kids got out of the house, but with my health, it was just not an option. Well, now that I'm getting healthier, it might become an option at some point. We'll see how good my health gets, because there were things I wanted to do in life that I thought I would be beneficial. You know, because I'm great with snarky teenagers. I love them. Because, you know, spunk and snark and sarcasm are great tools when you use them appropriately at the appropriate age. And so a lot of it is just letting them know, hey, these are adult skills that you're using too soon. You need to wait and use them appropriately. And giving them better skills as a teenager until they get to where they can use sarcasm with, you know. And, but I mean, I worked with some kids that had some really big trauma events in their life, and to see them go from one set of trauma to another set of trauma that the system created. And so I would go and visit the state home, because they were in state's custody. I would actually go and visit the state home that they were in. And so this counselor that did group therapy, and all my group kids were in the state home, I would go and do home visits on the state home, and I would do sessions there with them, because I wanted that state home to know I'm eyeballing you, making sure they're doing their education, and that you're, you know, trying to give them something that's mentally invigorating them and making them see that they have a future and options, instead of just babysitting them and rolling their eyes every time there's a problem. And that state home was actually a pretty decent state home. And I actually got to bring some speakers in a couple times and do speaking engagements. I had some of my old parolees that are really successful now come in and tell them, hey, don't go down this path. This is what it leads you through. This is what I came through. And this is how I succeeded. And still, that state home is like, you know, can you get us somebody? And I'm like, sure. And, you know, I'll call my guys, and one of them I go talk. And matter of fact, it was Chris Stringer was the first one that did it. And he's got a YouTube channel now, and he's singing Pantene. If you've seen my videos when God uses Pantene, I called him Pantene because he had long, lush blonde hair, and now he's cut it off. But I named him Pantene, and he was supposed to be this violent, aggressive offender, and he was Ferdinand the Bull, and he is now one of my most successful and creative, and he's writing songs about overcoming addiction and sharing them, and he's going into songwriter competitions and singing competitions and sharing, and he's at Celebrate Recovery twice a week. And he's just a blessing. He's just a blessing. And if I need him, and I'm like, hey, this group of people, these kids, can you? He's like, sure, I'm there. So I adore my Pantene. I adore him. You know, and if kids can see somebody that's been down that road and they can see the car wreck that's coming and you can get them to avoid it, it's a wonderful thing. It's a wonderful thing. Yes. Yes. Sometimes they snatch them for like almost no reason, and then sometimes it's like, well, if you snatched that one that quick, why did you let this one go through that? When you had 14 reports on this one and only like a whisper on this one, excuse me, what happened there? Whose family has money? You know, I would ask those questions. I'd be like, why did we wait on this one and not on this other? I would ask those questions because it made me mad. I wanted to know why there was such a deficiency in the system. And they would just shrug their shoulders at me. I was not their favorite person. I believe that when you make rules that affect people's lives, you need to follow them, and you need to follow them correctly. And sadly, the social services, they like to just wing it. And you don't wing it when you've got a child's life in your hand. You don't wing it. You follow the rules. So I like when I go over toward Crossville where I counsel, I'll still go over and go to events and get a hug, and I'll be getting hugged and not know who it is, and turn around and it's one of the kids that I counseled, and they're grown up now, and they're like, I missed you so much, and I'm like, oh, you scared me. So had one draw me because he was a really good artist. He drew me stuff and found my address and mailed me art for a long time. Oh, and he could draw. Oh my gosh. After I had to retire, and I was like, I can't respond to him, but if he found my address and sent me stuff, I can say, my God, that is gorgeous, and appreciate it. But I thought that was really sweet. And I was just like, bless his heart. He misses me. You know, I can't interact anymore. But I thought it was sweet that he thought that much of me, that he went through that trouble. So I thought that was just adorable. He is now like 24, 25. Mm-hmm. So he sent me a letter not too long ago. He's got a little girl now. And I'm just like, he keeps me updated. He doesn't know if I'm getting these letters or not, but he keeps me updated on everything. And I'm like, I hope you get my energy vibes that I'm here and I'm happy for you. So, but he's doing great. And it's nice when they take the time to do something like that. You know, it means you made a difference in somebody's life. So, and they made huge differences in mine. I mean, I think I learned just as much from them as they did from me. They do. Most of it's an attention grab, or it's just a defense mechanism, and they only have learned the coping skill of hostility and physical aggression, or coping with the substance. And so a lot of it is just teaching them the appropriate skills and role modeling the appropriate way to handle things. And once they learn a better way to handle it, they'll jump right in and they'll be like, oh, that's better, yeah. But when they've only seen certain things, they gravitate towards certain things. And, you know, so it's just like, you know, that's why I'm always, with my kids, I would always, when I have watch a court trial about a young person that just made a really stupid mistake that was going to go to jail, I'd be like, life lesson, let me tell you what I saw in court today, because it was public knowledge. And I'd tell them about the court case, and I'd be like, that is how easy it is to, number one, make stupid decisions, to number two, continue to make bad, stupid decisions, and number three, end up in jail when you didn't think you were doing anything wrong just because you were too stupid to read the law, understand the law, and, you know, to correct yourself when you thought something was a little janky, you know. And so I would always be like, have life lessons. I'd be like, come on, kids, come here, gather around, life lesson time. And they'd be like, oh, Mom. But my kids know exactly how easy it is to get in trouble with the law and to violate the law and to really ruin your life. So it's a really big lesson, and most kids don't learn it until it's too late. Sadly, it's very sad. All right, I'm done painting. I'm going to let these dry. I'm going to make David some lunch, and then I'm going to have to rest for a little while. But I will edit and upload my video for you guys. Hi, Alice. Everybody jumps in when I'm just getting done. I will be uploading a video for you guys. I'm going to edit it real quick and upload it. It normally takes about an hour for it to upload because I live in Podunk. So just be aware, it'll be an afternoon video for you. But I'm doing good, and after the week I've had, this is the most strenuous week I've had in years, and I made it, and I did a solo trip. Yeah, it was just an hour 15 away, and an overnight and back. But I did it all on my own. My neuromuscular disorder did not rear its ugly head and steal my joy. And medically, I'm doing a lot better. And I still have the limitations of my neuromuscular disorder. I still have flares and bad days, and I still have bone issues and Ehlers-Danlos that I'll take off walking and my hip will fall out of joint. And it's just like, whoop, hang on, gotta pop that sucker back in. But getting the weight off and the fluid off, so helpful, so helpful. I'm doing good. Alice, how you doing? It's nice to see it. I don't think I've seen your name before. It's nice to see a newbie in here. I'm just on here. I was doing some painting, and I had made some ghost and ghost wine bottles, but I needed to do a different paint over them, so I had to paint over the faces, and I'll retrace them later. But Frankenstein is done because he was just a green bottle, and I'm making little lamps. Aren't those cute? But now I've got that Grinch paint, and I'm thinking about painting some bottles, spray painting, and then doing the Grinch green and making some really green Frankensteins. I may do a couple of those for this weekend, but I'm going to take it kind of easy this week and do just easy, likable crafts that I enjoy. And I'm going to give my body a kind of a restful week, because if I play my cards right and I'm really nice to my body and I don't push it into flare, then this weekend I have the bicentennial thing on the square. I'm so glad when I push when somebody hides a comment. First of all, why would you come on a public platform and hide a comment? I mean, if you go to balls up and say something, just put it out there for everybody to see. Someone just come on here and ask me to pull certain things out of my shirt. Listen here, buddy, as big as I am, this is more of a harness than a bra. It would take me about 12 minutes to get it off, and then my husband of 21 years would probably not be too happy, and he's Grizzly Adams. He's actually in the fur shed working on hides right now. He had a coyote on the back porch so it could air out and dry, and I was like, this is why people don't visit our home. They see dead things hanging from the porches. But I mean, it's like, dude, you can ask certain things on the internet. Some people may comply. I am not one of them. I'm a retired parole officer, and that is called sexual assault. Oh, but I mean, if you're that desperate, keep trying. You might find somebody stupid enough to do it. But, I highly doubt it because you're not supposed to do it on this platform. I would recommend OnlyFans if you have money. Now, if you don't got 2 nickels to call up a squirrel, I understand you're hard up. There's always the bar at 2:30 a.m. right before the 3 a.m. call. You might find you somebody, okay? Just, you got to put all your options out there, bud. You got to work the system, okay? You got to really work the system. You got to make it work for you, okay? So you got to find people that are just as desperate as you. But then the better thing to ask is, why am I so desperate that I'm overlooking love and would rather have physical attention or excitement? Because that is fleeting. But heart-bound love is a beautiful thing. So you've got a lot of discussions to do for yourself. But now listen, asking me to whip off this bra and show you something, this is a harness. It could hold back a 6-horse team, okay? I'm a big old burly woman. This sucker ain't coming off and nothing's getting flashed because it would take me 10 minutes to rearrange everything, okay? And we just don't do that around here. It's not plight. It's just not plight. That's like asking a mama sow to flop on her back and do a little jiggle for you. It's just not polite. Just not polite. I had somebody ask me to flash them in a hidden comment. I mean, do you want to go blind? How old are you? I don't think you thought that one through. Oh, Lord. Listen, I supervise murderers. You're not going to say anything to me that I ain't heard before. But, I will say that if you ask that to certain people in certain physical proximity placements, that would be a sexual assault. So you need to be very careful. Rewind about 10 minutes, and that is one of those stupid bad decisions that put people in jail that they don't understand was just a simple stupid bad decision, and they make them and they end up in bad places because of simple stupid bad decisions that they could otherwise know are not supposed to occur. A for effort. At least, I mean, at least he asked. Some men don't ask, they just demand. Most of them are in maximum. And let me just tell you, be nice to people because you don't want to go in to like a medium or a medium maximum blended because you don't want to be a gen pop and have that kind of behavior. You better pick out pretty shade of lipstick if you behave like that and end up in jail. Because somebody in jail will like those kind of comments and they'll like you way too much. And you just won't come back the same person. It's just not pretty. It's just not pretty. So if you need attention, you can call me. I'll be Bert, your prison boyfriend. You can come visit me on here, and I'll be Bert, your prison boyfriend. He hit his comment. That's funnier than crap. Think a woman my size can whip anything out. Are you crazy? Honey, takes me, gravity, and the Lord 10 minutes just to put this sucker on. Oh my God. Oh, I'm sorry. You gotta laugh. Oh, Lord have mercy. Can you imagine what our teenage girls go through if people are saying that to people like me? I mean, do I look like the prettiest thing? Do I look like I have pieces of me you would like to see? I am Fatima of the 7 or 8 or 9 or 10 bells. I'm a big gal. Can you imagine what our little pretty girls go through on this stupid dang social internet? I mean, seriously. I mean, I would be screenshotting, getting IP addresses, and calling my local sheriff's department if I was a young lady. But I'm an old woman that's been married for 21 years, and, perverts exist. And I supervise sex offenders. But let me tell you, that is a fine line. You need to be very careful because they will prosecute that. They find your IP address and they know you're soliciting. If you've got a minor somewhere in your history, you're going to prison. You're going to get a pretty little ankle bracelet that goes beep, 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 beep. And when you leave your house uncharged or you go too far, it's going to go, and then somebody's going to show up and put you in handcuffs. That was me 10 years ago. So don't be doing that. That's a no-no. No, ma'am, bad dog. No, ma'am, bad dog. Don't be doing that. Lord have mercy. I just think it's mostly funny because, listen, if you know how long it takes me to put this bra on, it ain't nothing coming out of it quick. I'm an old woman. Gravity has done kicked in. I just thought that was the funniest. Listen. Do you think if I could flash anything, I'd be on Monjaro doing Monjaro updates? Seriously? Lord have mercy. What is it? Instead of Girls Gone Wild, it'd be next week on Draft Horses Gone Rogue. I mean, that would be my show. Okay? Let's just be honest here. Oh my gosh, you gotta find the fun in life and you gotta ignore the idiots, but I just like to make examples of them sometime. But if you're really, really lonely, rather than bother somebody and go to prison, I'll be Bert, your prison boyfriend. You can come here and ask stupid things and I'll remind you why it could get you. A felony offense and a prison boyfriend. I'll show you how to not end up needing Vaseline for the rest of your life. Oh my gosh, I know, I'm on a roll now. Oh, good grief. That's funny. Oh, Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. Well, we'll just end on that note. Ladies, be careful on the internet. I know, the internet's done some, it has changed the whole psychological profile, chemical profile, hormonal profile of society. It has really done a number on some people, I'm here to tell you. And thank God I can find the ceiling in it, but now no line to whoever just sent that. That is pushing a fine line. And if you were to have done that to a minor, that would have been a solicitation. And you would be in trouble. Somebody knew how to screenshot and find your IP address, which is not difficult, and take that to their sheriff. This state, if you were in another state, they would have taken charges and it would have been a felony level and you would be in a buttload of trouble. So people, that's a great example. Stupid bad decisions that that may seem comical, they will put you in prison. Life lesson, y'all. Stupidity's easy. And the easy way normally puts you in bad places. As I tell to my older kids, consequences rarely come lubricated. So wisen up. Life can hurt you if you don't play it smart. Oh, church was, oh, girl. Okay, well, Mark Efferberg has blocked me from sending messages for 3 days because I was in a Temu group made to share Temu links, and he didn't like that. And while he was chastising me and banning me, Facebook showed me a Temu advertisement. And I thought, are you freaking kidding me? Is it Nizuki? Or is it like Suzuki? So I just thought that was horrendously hilarious, like the most oxymoronic thing I've seen in decades. But what it is Efferberg doesn't want people doing that because Temu won't pay for advertisements if everybody's advertising on their own. So I'm on Discord. If you like Temu, go to Discord for Temu, but don't talk to anything else on Discord. Discord's not a good place. Just go to the Temu place and share your links. There seem to be nice people so far. Don't go anywhere else in Discord because it's a drama. Nah. Just go to the Temu board and put your Temu links in. So I'm off Messenger for 2 more days. But I did send them, I basically wrote out a warrant as to all the things that they had violated and sent to them. So I'm hoping they review it and give me my rights back. But I'm really super, super close to just leaving Facebook altogether. I just don't like it. It has become a very prison styled environment. Well, when you're in here, it's our rules. You run by our society. You're scared of the people here that's got power. And I'm like, I've seen maximum security, and I don't belong here. And I think that's kind of what he's creating with Meta. I think he's creating a society within society that he gets to control, and then he's going to do the big switcheroo where eventually his society will be larger than the rest of the population of the world. We'll all start thinking in Facebook society rules, and there will be no real life rules, and then society will run amok, but people can basically control everybody because everybody will only communicate on Facebook. That's why I always say go out and have physical contact with people, have good life intervention meetings, social gatherings. You cannot replace energetically meeting, hugging, and being with good people. You just can't. You can't. I'm amazed that I don't get in trouble more than I do because I don't edit myself very much. But I just thought that was crazy. He's mad at me for sharing a Temu link in a group created for Temu links. But while he's chastising me, in the timeline is a Temu ad. Do I get to get mad at you for harassing me with a Temu link? No? Oh, shucks. It's one-sided. But I did I basically wrote a warrant and sent to him as to all the things they were violating for me. And I said, because we don't have cell signal very good in this area, I said, and you have become such a prominent communication device, I said, I rely on you to receive, to notify people if I'm having a medical emergency because I live in a very rural place. And I said, so you're basically limiting my ability to notify my husband or next of kin that I'm having a medical emergency and to receive medical care. I said, so you need to reinstate my messenger. I said, I've never done anything negative, nasty, or, harassing. And I said, if you think me sharing a Fishland link because I want shells for fish food is a community violation, why in the heck ain't you taking off the PORN off of Facebook and all those nasty fetish sites off, excuse me, Efferberg? It's backwards. That man, if you saw his true face, he'd have to walk backwards in life. That's how backwards that man is. If you saw his true face. It's just horrible. But I'm off Messenger for 2 days. So if you need to message me, you need to do it through the Hillbilly First page. So I got a smack on the hand for doing absolutely nothing. because the group was created for Temu links. Share your links here. We're a Temu group. And people are still sharing links. Somehow I got banned for 3 days. Okay. Spotlight on Liz. Hi. I hate Facebook. I know. So I am very good with passwords and complicated because of where I was trained. So I've never been hacked, but not saying it couldn't happen. But I watch that very closely, and I know a little bit about how to report it and stop it and get somebody in a whole lot of trouble if they do it. But that's one thing that's not happened to me. But no, they don't try to stop that at all. They don't protect anyone but themselves. They don't protect anyone's interest but their own. And I thought, you're chastising me for sharing a Temu link in a group created for Temu links to be shared. And while you're chastising me, there is a Temu ad from you on the page. Well, that makes sense. So I would just love to have a 5-minute conversation with that man. I would be like, you were so lonely in college that you created a place to interact with others, and then all you did was completely eradicate social interaction from the actual real world. Your loneliness has become a disease upon the planet, Mr. Efferberg. You didn't bring people together. You just widened the gap between real, true personal interaction. And it was all because you were lonely. You made everybody else lonely. Bad boy. So I'm in one of those moods today. But I've had a good day, had a good ramble, doing good. After the week I've had, I did everything and I still feel good. I am going to have a rest after I make David's lunch and stuff. But I am amazed at, and I haven't weighed in like 3 weeks. I won't get a weigh until Friday, and I'll have like a solid month that I've not weighed. I don't know how much I've lost, although I found my overalls fit. Gypsy, the ones that I bought at the thrift store, they fit. They're so cute. And the shorts are almost too big, but they fit too. And I've had a good week. I bought a little coffee creamer set at a thrift shop for $3 that reminded my grandma's. I bought an old enamel bowl that reminded me of my grandma, like hang on my kitchen wall. We had so much fun thrifting, and just her historical knowledge, and she sees the world kind of like me. So like that tree that we took pictures, I was mesmerized. I could have sat under the tree, laid under the tree, and looked up through that tree all day long, just looked up through that tree and been the happiest person in the world, because that was the most beautiful tree, and it was growing right in the middle of this graveyard. And just to think about how long it had been there, how they delicately dig around it to bury new people, because some of them were very new, and that tree's got to be 100 years old at least. And that tree is just as sacred as those people buried there, if you ask me. And it was just a beautiful, that was one of my favorite things. And I just had a really good visit. It was a short one, so when I come back, I'm gonna stay a couple 3 days, probably 3. That's my hope. Get through these vendor things and these historical and heritage things, and then 3 days. But I'm gonna do a more restful week so that I'm ready for this weekend, the bicentennial thing in town, and I'm gonna do crafts that I like to do for me and focus on me this week, because I worked my butt off last week doing some stuff for Dave, getting some stuff ready, and I'm going to have an easier week this week. And because the next 2 weekends, I want to have fun. I want to be able to go with him and enjoy those, because the bicentennial here in town is brand new. I'm looking forward to it. And then the Scott County Heritage Festival is an old tradition, and I used to take my cloggers over there to participate in it, and I haven't been in several years because I wasn't able to walk. I wasn't able to park the vehicle and walk to where everything was going on, and now I can. And like, I won't be able to stay, all day and take part in everything, but I'll be able to stay long enough for David's bracket of time where he's doing his demonstrations and stuff. So I want to be able to enjoy that, because that's going to be a different event for Dave, and I want to be there to support him. And I'm going to let all my old caseload and all the old people I worked with and for, I'm going to let them know I'm going to be in town if they want to see me, to come visit me. Because I'll be right smack in the middle of town, and everybody will be there anyway. Let them know that I'm there. Find me, scream my name, and I'll say I'm over here. And I know that there'll be a lot of people that will want to come say howdy because I miss a lot of my coworkers and even my OK load in the area. I miss them. So if I put out a location marker for me next week, and I guarantee I'll have a whole bunch of people show up to say howdy. So I'm looking forward to, or the weekend after, I'm looking forward to the Scott County Heritage Festival a lot. It's a good program. So yeah, I'm doing good. All right, my video will upload here shortly. I'm gonna make Dave's lunch. Y'all have a beautiful rest of the day. Watch for people weirdos on the internet. I'm glad they pick on me rather than somebody else, because what if that had been a 14-year-old girl? That bothers me. So if when this loads and the chat loads, I'm going to go back and actually pull that and report it. Can I do it right now? Hang on. Bear with me. Bear with. Have you ever watched Miranda Hart? Bear with. Bear with. Bear with. Bear with. Bear with. I may have to go back and do it, because when we mod something, then I have to go back in a little different way and deal with it. So I may have to go back in a different way and deal with it. What? I clicked on the wrong thing. Leave it to me. Let's see if we can report this doohickey monster. Oh, sexually explicit material. Harassment or bullying. Wait, you can only put one? Okay, well, I'm putting the worst one. Report. Okay, I reported him, and the comment will not show up when the chat loads, and they will go and review him. So hopefully they'll take care of him. But I'm just glad it happened to me and not like a teenager on here. So maybe that will, maybe I saved a teenager from meeting a monster today. Who knows? Okay, I'm going to make lunch. Y'all have a great Sunday. Go hug somebody. Tell them you love them. Find a friend. Get some support. Get some good energy vibes. Physically interact with somebody today. Have a great Sunday. Prepare mentally and emotionally and physically if you need to for your week coming. This because we want it to be a good one. It's a good time of year to really enjoy and be thankful for what you're seeing. This is when, yeah, winter's coming, but this is when life is in one of its transition moments and is very vibrant. So get out and enjoy it and look at everything that's getting the last rays of sunshine, and they're happy to get them, and the grass is still trying to grow and the flowers are still trying to bloom, and they know that they've still got life to live before the winter comes, and they're still thriving. If they can do it, they can thrive knowing that the end's coming soon. But we should be able to get up every morning with a smile on our face and interact positively with each other, because you know something? We're doing way better than a plant that gets like a 4-month life, you know. Be thankful for what you got. Share it. Share that happiness, and put people in a thankful mindset. And Lord have mercy. You know, I'm glad I have a sense of humor, but I hope they restrict that man. But I mean, he'll just get a new profile and go do it again. But we got to start having boundaries with people. I love you all. Have a great day, and I'll see you maybe tomorrow evening for craft time. Bye, guys.